Hello, welcome back again. As a newbie into farm business, there are certain things you shouldn't do. I know it's usually very challenging for a startup. You will face a lot of challenges in your farm business. Challenges like marketing, capital to start up. These are challenges you will face, a lot of challenges you will face as a newbie. Now, I want to advise you shouldn't borrow to start up your vegetable farm. What if I tell you there are safer ways you can start up without borrowing money? In this video, I will let you know how you can start up without borrowing money. Let's say you want to start a tomato farm. You have acquired the right knowledge and you just want to start. And then you do not have the capital. You don't even have the land to start farming. You don't have the necessary equipment, no input. You don't have any money to purchase your inputs. So how do you do? Do you go to borrow money to start up? How do you go about it? Now let me tell you the dangers in borrowing as a startup. If you borrow money as a startup to start your farm business, remember you are just new, you are facing a lot of challenges. There are things old farmers know that you that is just getting into farm business do not know. Then you go to start by borrowing money. What if disease infestation comes and sweep all the crops away? How do you repay your money? Are you going to keep running up and down and giving excuse? You go to financial institution to borrow money to start your farm. As a newbie, to me, is not encouraging, and I do not advise anybody who is entering into farm business go to borrow money to start a farm business. But if you are already into farming, you can borrow money to expand your business. Remember, by then you have grown your market base, you have grown your customer base, you have a lot of customer, you have more demand of your produce than you can supply. So if you go to borrow money to expand your farm, I don't think there is anything wrong in that. By then you have known your way in the market, you have gotten your own market share. So it's good for you who is already into it and want to expand. But you, as someone who is starting up a farm, I do not encourage and advise you go to financial institution to get a loan. It is not advisable at all. And anyone advising you that, I just advise you shouldn't listen to that person. No, as a newbie, what we watch on social media is different from reality. You need to practice your farm business. You need to get into farming before you can realize some things. You need to face it real before you can realize some certain things. As a newbie, you have to make sure you have your customers out there. You first of all research your market, know all these things, know the kind of crop you will be growing that would yield you money and all that. Make sure your customers are around to purchase your produce, or better still, you can sell your produce direct to consumers. As a startup, as someone who has a small farm, you can do that and it will be better. Then when you now have much customers, much demand of your produce than you can supply, then you can borrow money. Now my advice is this: to a new farmer into farm business, someone who is starting a vegetable farm, I will advise you start small. Just start small. Start with what you have. Start with crops that are very easy, that have least cost, that won't take you much. Vegetables like fluted pumpkin, they are very easy to maintain and will not cost you much. So that is why I suggest it for a beginner. I also have a video on vegetable farming, crops you can grow with least cost. I will leave the link for you up here and also in the description section so that you can check it out and watch. So there are crops you can start small with least capital, and then from there you grow. Do not borrow money. If you ask from family and friends and they don't have, just start small. For now, you can start with 1 plot, 2 plots. Don't just go into hiring hectares of land. Just start with a plot or two. You can start with that. Start with vegetable farming. You can start with, I always advise, start with fluted pumpkin. You know the reason why? Because this particular vegetable has a high demand, has a high market value. Once your crop is ready and you take it to the market, you will see customers that will patronize your business, because this vegetable is something that we consume everywhere. We consume it at least, let me say daily. We consume vegetable daily. So I would suggest you start with vegetables. Start very small with what you have. Do not go to start something you are starting for the first time. You now go to start it in a way that when problem comes, you don't know how to control it. Just start small and get experience from it. Then little by little you expand. When you have expand your customer base, then you can go into borrowing loan, or you still manage what you have. As a newbie, please, I will advise again, start with what you have. Once you reach out to family and friends for grants and they do not have, just start little. Any little space is okay for you to start. Just start very little and expand and grow from there. Not just growing to expand, but also you will have experience. Then on the process, by then you have expanded your market base. You will now have more supply. When you are consistent in what you are doing, trust me, your customers base will grow, and from there you can expand. So I advise, do not borrow. If you must borrow, let it be on the ground that you want to expand. You are already in the business, you have gained experience, you have expanded your customer base, so you can go ahead and borrow to expand, so that you can have more supply of your produce. As a vegetable farmer, I advise, learn ways to add value to your produce. By doing that, you will make more money. Learn different ways you will add value to that particular produce you have. If it is pepper, you can dry your pepper. If it is tomato, you can dry your tomato. There are ways you can dry all these vegetables, and you will make more money by adding value. Not just adding value, you will prolong the shelf life of that produce and then avoid post-harvest losses. So that is it. I know this video will help someone out there, so please share this video. And if this is your first time of coming across my channel, do well to hit the subscribe button. Yes, you watching me right now, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for doing that. What we do on this channel is we discuss about agriculture, agribusiness idea, how to make money on agriculture, and some healthy tips. That is all I discuss on this channel. So hit the like button, subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you'll be the first to get notified whenever I post a new video. All right, I'm signing off. Thanks for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.